What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jake, aka Korean Jew Trading, and man, it's been a while since I've done a YouTube video, probably about a year. Your boy has been MIA, I know, but right now, timing matters, and I am back here to help you guys out. For those that don't follow me too closely, you'll know that I have been extremely active on Twitter at Korean Jew Crypto for the past year, and also, all my video content, I do a ton of live streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/realkoreanjew. Definitely tune in for Rect Hour of Kazanomics. It's a phenomenal show that we do together. I mean, this guy's a real legend, living legend. And basically, to get you guys up to speed, the last time you saw me on YouTube, I was not really well versed at all with technical analysis. I was more of a fundamental guy looking at altcoins. And midsummer of 2018, I realized later than I would have liked that the altcoin market was in a severe bear trend, as well as BTC. And I just decided I didn't have it in me to continue to, I mean, the only thing I can do is to come on and say, hey, everything looks bad. And you know, I just didn't want to do that. So I kind of disappeared from YouTube altogether for about a year. But in that time, I had been staying very active on Twitter and kind of upping my game. So I'm back now. I feel very comfortable, you know, with what I'm seeing in the market, as well as the steps that I've taken to kind of level up my game. And one thing about trading in general is, especially for people like me and many of you watching, a lot of us just got in 2017. The majority of the people that entered crypto got in 2017, kind of in a full-blown bull trend around this area, anywhere in this area. And you know, when you're in a bull trend, you can't go wrong. I mean, everything is going up, and you can make a tremendous amount of money in a very quick period of time. So I entered in May of 17, so we're talking like down here, and now that wasn't the bottom, but we were in trend, and my whole experience for the whole year of 17 was just straight going up. Then obviously 18, the top is in. This is actually a bull market in itself, but flipped upside down. And one of the key lessons that you learn in trading is you can make money in either direction. It's just about identifying which way the price is moving. So holding on to a bias of I'm a bull or I'm a bear is actually kind of misguided, because everything is about perspective. So anyway, let's get into it. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I want to talk about what's going on with BTC, talk about some altcoin plays. First, we got to do some housekeeping. I did obviously let you guys know about the Twitch, twitch.tv, Real Korean Jew. I am going to let you know that this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and learning, but not financial advice. And also, I'd like to give a very special thanks to my sponsors at Dudex. Dudex is a new crypto derivatives exchange, trading Bitcoin swaps. Fantastic place to trade. One of the key things, if for you guys that are new at margin, we're going to do some videos talking about that and how to trade Bitcoin with leverage. But the key kind of draw to Dudex is they don't have an internal trading desk, which is very common in all markets. So stocks, even look at BitMEX, FTX, all these different exchanges have their own internal book where they are in essence trading against their clients. And Dudex, kind of their whole vision was to have a more equal playing field. Obviously, you're still going to get moves and quote unquote manipulation, because that's what a market is. But at least you're not trading against the exchange, which has access to your actual positions. So that they can kind of use that against you. So if you're interested in trying out Dudex, it's fantastic. Dudex.com/Korean Jew if you want to help me out and show me some love. You can use my referral link. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about what's going on in BTC. On the high time frame, I'm going to look at the daily. We are basically in a downtrend since the top, which came in June, nearly 14K. You have that's the high, and we're just making lower highs the whole way down, as well as lower lows. So for 6 months, you're in a severe bear market or bear trend. That being said, there was a big pop in October, close to Halloween. We hit this here right around 7,500, shot up 3K, and then you have another bear trend that had developed. The bottom fell out. The key thing that I was looking at on this move is this trend line here from the top. Yeah, so basically, if you look at the top of the move in the summer, which went to 14K, you can draw this trend line, which has been very significant the whole way for 6 months. So you look at starts up here. When we pop off of Vegeta Lives level at 7,500, you can see that this wave or flag that's created after the pop to 10,500, this trend line acts as support. And you get a lot of action around it, which creates bounces. Kind of bounces up, then dumps. The trend line is still acting as support the whole way down until it finally breaks here. When it dumps below 8,500, you start to see some major blood, an additional $2,000 below once that trend line was violated for real. And you could see that when we dumped from 85, you kind of stabilized around 79 to 81. It just wasn't able to get above that trend line. It actually didn't even get too close to it. It was kind of close, but it wasn't able to get above it. You made this one move to 82 and change and fails, and then you really see the bottom fall out. So this line is significant, and we're coming up on it. So this is definitely an area, if I zoom in closer, where I'm paying attention. My anticipation is that you can expect this to be some sort of resistance. It's going to be significant. Now, how significant, we can't tell yet. But from where Bitcoin is at this current moment, we have appeared to have at least made some sort of a bottom here. This level, Bloody Moon, which is at 66.24, this was from this wick down here. So back in May on the uptrend, we had moved so fast. After 4,100 broke, we went all the way to like about 8,500 super quickly. And this advance here had become extremely parabolic. And within a couple of hours, because we traded it live, when 7,900 broke, it just flash crashed all the way to 6,400. And we're talking about in a matter of minutes. Like, this happened so fast, and the buyers came in right here. On other exchanges, it was a different price, but on Coinbase, 6,600 approximately is where it was. And from that point on, that low was established. We made our move all the way up to 14K. Once again, we actually slightly took it out, went a little bit lower this time, but it's the same area. And with volatile moves, you see that it's not going to always hit exactly on your level. But it's close enough to me that you can kind of look at it and say, all right, you know, we have potentially a double bottom in play now. That being said, we're still in a 6-month downtrend. So you have to be cautious. The way I would play this is currently where we are right now. It's uncertain. It could go either way, and when you're in that situation, you can just say, I'm not going to trade this. I don't care. I don't care to trade it right now. I want to see what happens when we get to this resistance or 8K. Sometimes this trend line can get run, you know, and you end up around 8,100, which everybody is looking for, and then rejected there. Personally, the way I see it is if we get over 8K, I think you're gonna get a little bit higher. So the way I see it is it can get rejected before. If it gets through this trend line, you're gonna see a lot of stops and liquidations triggered, and you may get a bigger wick to the upside. Key level for me is around 85, 85.50. If we get above that, it's pretty full-blown bullish. So looking at the structure here of the downtrend, you just have constant lower highs, constant lower lows. Every time it dumps, you get a little bit of a wick up, a fake out, then more dump, wick up, fake out, dump, all the way down till the bottom is kind of developed as an inverse head and shoulders. So You got like this, and now we're breaking out to the upside. So you have the low, a high, a low, a high. We can call this a trend. So looking at this area right here around 7,500 has been significant. Even lower, the 7,100 area, if you look at the VPVR, this is where the majority of the buy volume was. Also looking at the volume profile on the move up, you have heavy buying volume, not so much selling volume. So if this is in fact a bull trap where, you know, they're trying to coax everybody to get excited, it hasn't happened yet. So potentially, you know, we could look in this area. Ultimately, the best way to trade this is to come up with a plan and stick to it. Don't let the emotions get control of you. So yeah, that's pretty much the way I'm seeing BTC right now. Personally, it looks like a bottom has been established, and I would be looking to participate on dips. So a dip into this range here, around 74.50, 75.50, that's a place where I would play. If that level gets broken, then you're kind of looking around here, around 7,100, in anywhere in that area. Below 7K is bad. So if it starts to give back and go under 7K, now you're looking at, you know, the bear trend continuing. And ultimately, you don't know how low it can go. Whoops, sorry. So we don't know how low it can go. So you pick a price where, well, pick a price where you decide, hey, I'm wrong, this is bearish, I'm going to flip. But at the end of the day, I would lean towards continuing to take some risk down here. Now, let's talk about altcoins. To do that, I want to bring up the dominance chart to start. So this right here, oh, this is inverse. So let me flip it the first way. All right, this is Bitcoin dominance versus altcoins. So what percentage of the market cap goes to Bitcoin versus all the rest? Now, obviously, back in the day, we were at high levels, over 95%, because there weren't that many altcoins. But in 2017, when you saw Ethereum kind of blow up, and people were actually talking about Ethereum flipping over Bitcoin having more of a market share due to ICOs, this dominance dropped like a stone. And it topped out at around 32%. So this was the beginning of the bear market for alts. And why this particular move was so crushing for so many people was that everybody was so greedy, because, you know, Bitcoin's cool and all, you make a 10x, or, you know, Bitcoin when I got in was around 3,000 and it made it, you know, to almost 20,000. So that's like 6 times your money, 600%. But in that same time period, you had other altcoins, obviously, if you follow me, you know some of them, that were doing anywhere between 20 and 100x. So everybody was so heavily exposed on altcoins because they were all greedy. They wanted to hit the 100x. They wanted to change their lives. I get that. And once that top was in, people didn't recognize it, myself included, right away. And now you have this double bear market. It's a double barrel bear market where Bitcoin is losing versus US dollar and altcoins are losing versus Bitcoin. So it was really crushing for many. And now it's almost to the point where everybody is terrified of playing altcoins. So we look at where it is right now. We are currently sitting at 66.8% approximately. Now, this was a key level of resistance right here, where when this broke, this was when Bitcoin pumped to 19K. When that happened, alts got decimated in terms of BTC because it just couldn't keep up with the pace of the money going into BTC. But when Bitcoin finally topped out at 19K and dropped down and settled around 10 to 12K, that was the true alt season that everybody kind of talks about, where coins were doing 20x in a week. And you saw this dominance plummet all the way to 32%, which is just absolutely insane. If something like that happens again, yes, if you're participating, you're going to get rich. Like, just make sure to sell. This was around where I entered because I saw what altcoins were doing. There was a lot of excitement. This was another shock wave that developed right here. Bottom fell out. This was Ethereum and Litecoin pumping, kind of leading the way, and then you had Ripple and other alts just kind of blowing up. And this area is what brought a lot of people into crypto. So if you can see where we are right now, we're developing a larger price action around this same area. So if we flip it upside down, I'm going to invert the scale. This is the chart. So you have the high is met here at 32%. It's dumped horribly, so it's been since January 18. This is nearly a 2-year bear market for alts versus BTC. And now this support level, we've been in between since July. So there's a lot of fluctuation. If this were to break out above this 65, so basically if alt dominance goes below 65, or rather 64, there's a ton of room. But for that to happen, you probably need BTC to pull back even further. So the way I look at this is, yes, during this downtrend, alts have performed kind of well versus BTC. Versus USD, not as much. There have definitely been a select few of performers that have done really, really well, and we'll talk about those. But overall, like especially the large caps, they haven't absolutely crushed it, and we're still at resistance. So personally, the way I would play this is be very cautious with the alts. BTC is in such a critical spot here where if this move continues, you can see some major bullish price action on BTC. So the area that I'm looking for is about 8,500, 8,550. Nothing you can do about it. That's the name of the level. If you get past that, BTC can run all the way up. And if that happens, these alts are going to get absolutely decimated. So one thing to keep in mind is if you are trading alts, you want to keep a very close eye on what BTC is doing. You can't just blindly enter into alts. So we'll keep an eye on that and how this price develops. But let's look at a few right now. And one of them that I was pretty bullish on for some time is Tezos. If you look here, we had this very long bull flag. It broke out, or it didn't break out fully, but it started to bounce off this area that we were targeting because this was a support here. Looked like it was going to do something, and then it went all the way back down, took this level out, and bottomed there. It's like a really crushing move to kind of destroy everybody's hopes. It's like, oh man, this level didn't hold, now where are we going? And then boom, it takes off right in your face. One of the fundamental reasons that accompanied this run up was the staking of Tezos on Coinbase platform, but it's all in the chart, really. And now you're starting to see the volume come in. Tezos right now, it topped out at around the 0.5 fib level right here, around 1900 sats, and is now pulling back into support. But the good news is we're still above this level right here. So around 14.5, 1500. 1500 was a very key area, and it took a while to get through it. Once it broke above, it took off. And when we look how high it can go, this move could just be beginning at this point. It's one of the more bullish large cap alts in the game, and the way I'm seeing this is you don't want to see it much below 1500 sats. If you can enter somewhere in this range here, like anywhere in here, between 13.5 and 15, if you get in there on a wick, if it dumps, let's say BTC pumps up to like 9,500 or something like that, and you get a dump into this area, that's an area where I would participate with a stop loss, meaning, okay, it gets to this price, it looks really bad, I'm going to play here. If it gets much worse than this, like you decide your risk, how much you want to risk, but at that point you don't have too much room for it to go lower, meaning if it continues a little more, then you're going to start to talk about visiting this level or even down here or making a new low. It just means the move was failed. So, or you could try to play it down there, whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, the way I see it is you don't want to see it much below here. Specifically this wick. If this wick gets taken out, this is done. But an area to play is probably about 14.5 to 1500. that would be a great entry in my opinion. And then you kind of ride the wave. Right now, what it's doing, if we zoom in, failed up here. There was a ton of resistance. It tried. We tried. We look at all these wicks. It was pushing. It was trying to get through. If you get over 20 or 2,000, this runs to different levels. So right now, you could even participate here without, well, if you're going to play here, then you might as well have your stop like down here somewhere, because there's a decent probability. If you look at all this volume here in this area, like it can revisit this level. So I wouldn't be rushing into the position right now unless we get over 2,000 sats and Bitcoin looks somewhat weak. That's the way I would play this. Next one, Fantom. In this right now, this one, well, we don't have the full chart because it was listed on Binance. Let me see if I can pull it up over here. Pull it up on this one. And with this website isn't completely accurate, but it gets you. Fantom was originally on KuCoin and Bbox, I believe, and there's a lot more price history on there as opposed to Binance. So let me see if I can figure this out. This is inverted, so we'll uninvert it. All right. So made a high here at almost 500 sats. Been on a serious downtrend the whole way down. Let's see. Didn't get below 100 sats on this move. This is just a box range right here. So if you get past this, I'm not convinced 215 is going to create too much resistance. The next area that you're targeting is like 275 sats. So there's a ton of upside on this. You don't want to see this low taken out, the 134 area. That would be a nice place to play. But Fantom, what led me to kind of look at Fantom was Matic, frankly, and Matic has been super bullish. If you look here, oop, why do I keep doing that? Sorry, we showed too hard level. Yeah, that was a significant level that we broke above, and we're shock waving right here. Hasn't want to go. It doesn't appear like it wants to go below 300. This 350 area gets taken out. This can go all the way up to the high. It's possible. It's been extremely bullish right now. So where would we play on this? You can get in like around 300 if it goes back down there, and then keep a stop like below this, like below 275. You don't really want to be like anywhere below 290. So if you get in at like 300, you have a 10 sat stop. Below 290, anything, you can give it a little room to breathe. Like if it goes to 280, you're out, or 275. So let's say you're looking at an entry at 300 and a stop loss of 275, right? So you're risking losing 25 sats. But your target, you can set your target like maybe up here, you know, around 420, something like that. Now you're looking at 120 sats to the upside versus 25 to the downside. It's almost 5 to 1. So if you lose the trade, you lose, obviously. But if you win, you're going to win 5 times more than what you lose. So it's kind of like what I try to structure my trades as, like 5 to 6 times as much. So where if it hits, if you hit, and if you're hitting 1 out of 5, you know, you're going to make money. I mean, it's you don't want to hit. You want to hit more than 1 out of 5. But if you can hit 1 out of 5 and you're doing a 1 to 6 odds of risk reward, then you will make money. But if you're hitting two now, if let's say you start to hit 2 out of 5 on that, now you're doing fantastic, and you have more capital to try to make these plays. So that's like, we'll talk in other videos. We'll spend a lot of time on that. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys my thoughts on BTC and some alts. The ones that we're looking at is obviously Matic, Fantom, Tezos, and was there another one? Oh, MFT was another one that on my last stream on Twitch we were talking about before it moved. This is also something where, if you look at this chart, this just looks awful. It's straight down basically since listing, but it definitely is creating a strong base. You're starting to see buy volume fly in spurts, but the 9 to 10 sat range in the dojo, we've been talking about this coin for 6 months. Every time it gets to 10 sats, I'm buying, and it ends up around, it kept getting stopped around 13 sats, but that's still 30%. I mean, it's a fantastic trade to make. But now that we've kind of broken above that 13, see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, it just kept going to 13, then back to 10 or 9, over and over and over. And finally, we're starting to get above it and get some acceptance around 15 sats. So at 16, this is a trade you can enter right now. And if it gets below 15 sats, you're out. You know, that's the way I would play this. And you're looking for the break of 20, which we've now tested twice. Another move up there, we might get above it. So, you know, if you start to see MFT get above 20 sats, you've got a lot of room. The next area is around 50 sats. So you can actually make a 2x on this trade with minimal risk. So MFT is another one that I would keep a very close eye on. You could set your alerts, watch for the break of 20 sats, or play it now and just kind of hope it doesn't go below 15. So that's what we got. BTC, it's uncertain, but it's definitely a short-term bull trend. People are very skeptical of it. Myself, I think this is going to perhaps revisit this area at some point. We may, like, so if I had to guess what was going to happen here, I think we test this trend line, so somewhere between like 7,900 or so to 8K, get rejected, push back down into this accumulation area, and then break it the next time. That's what I'm looking for. Worst case scenario is pushed into this area where the bulk of the volume is, which you can see that happen. But much below that is really bad. So kind of structure your trades that way. Different scenarios. If this area breaks, then you're looking in this area between like 74, 75, 50. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll start to do some live stuff, but I do live stuff on Twitch all the time. I'm going to be banging out a lot of new videos, try to keep them short and sweet. We'll talk about some alts, we'll talk about BTC, we'll talk about other markets too, because obviously the stock market is in a crazy bull market, and you don't need to just limit yourself to trading one product. You know, you don't need to stay in one market. If something's not looking good, you know, you can go play somewhere else. And that's the good thing about learning how to trade crypto through this whole bear market, is that now when I start to look at other things like gold or stocks or oil or anything, it's so much easier now, especially because being that I got into BTC and it was just such a wild time, and crypto in general, there's an extra fold or element of emotions in there. I have an emotional tie to Bitcoin, I can't lie. And, you know, if I'm trading oil, I don't give a shit about oil. I don't care. It's just another chart. And it's way easier for me to kind of zero in. And the things that you learn trading crypto applies to every market. So definitely don't limit yourself, especially when you got a wild bull market going. Who knows how long it's going to be here. You got to tune into Rect Hour on Twitch to get that type of stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun. I haven't shot one of these in forever, so it's kind of like different for me. I'm used to like responding to the crowd, because on Twitch you have a room of people and they're just like kind of talking, asking questions, and I'm just kind of winging it here. So I hope you enjoyed. I can't wait to come back and give you some more content. And yeah, shout out to Dudex, dudex.com/Korean Jew if you want to sign up. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.